Good morning, student. Today in this video, I am going to teach you the chapter The Little Girl, which was written by Catherine Mansfield. The title of the story suggests the main character that we will come across, the little girl, whose name is Kezia. The theme of the story is the relationship between the children and their parents. And the writer, Catherine Mansfield, she wants to tell us that children share a very important bond of love with their parents. Although children are small, when they are young, they don't feel that their parents love them because their parents are strict, and many action of the parents seems unjustified. But as children grew up, they realized that all the acts done by their parents were beneficial for them. The parents were concerned for them. And beneath the strictness of the parents lies a heart which was full of love for children, and this bond is highlighted in this chapter. Begin with the reading of the chapter. Do you feel your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reason for some of their action that used to upset you earlier. So, when we are small, we are very small, we don't know why our parents are being strict with us. But as we grow, we become mature, we realize why they were being strict with us. When we realize that thing, then we also realize that our parents love us. So even the reader can also relate to this. You can also feel that when you were younger, the action of your parents, the strictness that they had towards you was for your betterment. And you will grow older and older. You will realize that in the past, whatever your parents did were for your betterment, and in fact, they really love you. So this story about a little girl whose feeling for her father changed from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. Now, what do we mean by will probably find an echo mean? It means that all the children will feel the same way. So you all can relate to the feeling of the little girl Kezia. Just like Kezia is full of fear towards her father, later on she understands the behavior and feels that he was concerned and he loved her. All the children also have the same feeling towards their parents, and you can relate to Kezia's story very well. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growth fainter and fainter down the long road. So, to the little girl, he was a figure to be feared. Means a figure to be feared means a person who is a figure to be feared is Kezia's father. And so he refers to Kezia's father, and the little girl is Kezia. So the opening lines of the story shows the fear that Kezia has for her father, and she is fearful of her father. She tries to avoid him and she tries to remain away from him every morning. So every morning before going to work, Kezia's father would visit her in her room and give her a casual kiss, and in reply she said, "Goodbye, father." So this action of Kezia shows his love for this action of her father shows Kezia's love. And oh, there was a glad sense, a relief, when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. Glad sense of relief means feeling relaxed, fainter and fainter, to lessen or reduce. Carriages like horse carts were means of conveyance used in olden times. Here we can make out the fear that Kezia has for father. The writer says when Kezia heard that her father's carriage was going away, जब केजिया के फादर का जो कैरेज है वो चला जाता है. He was leaving home and the sound became fainter and fainter, and that means the sound reduced down the long road. The Kezia would have a sense of relaxation. She would feel relieved that her father had left. And why did she feel relieved? Because she has a fear for her father. She was afraid of him, so she was relieved when her father left home. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. So, in the evening, when Kezia's father arrived at home, she would hear his loud noise, and this loud noise again made her afraid of him. And again, this loud noise created fear in the mind of the Kezia. Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers, Kezia's mother would call to her. If you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boot. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly, still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. Slowly, so bring my tea into the bedroom. Kezia's father returned home and he would start ordering all the different things. He would order the tea to be served in the drawing room. He wanted the newspaper. Hasn't the newspaper come yet? He would ask his mother to go and see if the newspaper was there and bring my slippers. And he would ask her to get him his slipper also. Kezia's mother would call to her. Kezia's mother would call to her. If you would be called out to her and ask her to remove her father's boots in order to make her obey. And she would say that if she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her order. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs. Slip down the stairs, come down quietly. So again, we see Kezia's fear for her father. She was coming slowly. That why she would come down the stair quietly, unwillingly, because she didn't want to face her father. She had fear him. By that time, he had his spectacles on and looked over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Now just imagine Kezia's father sitting in the drawing room on a sofa, wearing specs, and is looking at Kezia's over the specs. And now the way he look at her, and he is looking at Kezia's over the spectacles, he terrified her. She was horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at. Well, Kezia, hurry up. Pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? I don't know, father. So she is saying, well, Kezia was unwilling to do her work. She was slow in her motion. So her father is saying to her to hurry up and remove his boots and keep them out of the room. And then he would ask if she had been a good girl that day. So Kezia replied she did not know why she was stammering. She was not speaking correctly. She didn't have confidence. So a person is not confident when he has any feeling of fear. You don't know. If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. So, stuttered mean stammer, to speak with pauses, atak atak ke bola. So here Kezia fathers is copying her daughter, and as he also stammers like she did. He says to her that if she stuttered like that, her mother would take her to the doctor. She never stuttered with other people. So here the writer is saying that when she speak to other people, she never stuttered. It was only when she talked to her father, she lacked confidence. She didn't have confidence. That's why she tried very hard to say something clearly, and she started stammering. What's the matter? What are you looking so raised about, mother? I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia carried my teacup back to the table carefully. So what's the matter? Now Kezia's father looked at her. He feels that something wrong with the Kezia. So he was asking. He asked why she is so unhappy. Why you look raised about means unhappiness. And then he tells her mother she would teach Kezia to behave in a very better manner, in a better way. She should not appear as if she is so unhappy that she is about to end her life. So he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so unhappy with her life and she didn't want to live any longer. He hands her teacup and asks her to place it back on the table carefully. He was so big, his hands, his neck, especially his mouth. When he yawned, thinking about him alone, he was like thinking about a giant. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. But the little girl always found mother reading, father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So he was so big. Here, this is the feeling that this is the vision that Kezia has for father. Kezia is saying that her father was so big. His hands, his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. And she feels that his hand, his neck and his mouth were all so huge that Kezia, especially when he yawned, it seemed as if he was a huge monster. Giant mean monster. And whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt that she was thinking about a giant. On Sunday afternoon, during the afternoon, Kezia's grandmother sent her downstairs to have a nice talk in order to spend some time with her parents. So Kezia was supposed to talk and behave in a very nice and decent manner in front of her parents, and they had a formal get together. But the little girl always found mother in busy reading. So here we feel that Kezia again feels neglected, rejected every Sunday afternoon when she went to her parents to meet them in the drawing room to have a nice talk with them. They were busy doing their own work. Her mother was busy reading and her father was busy sleeping and snoring. So Kezia had this image of her parents in her mind. They didn't talk with her, they didn't spend time with her. On the other hand, they were busy doing their own things. She sat on a stool, gravely watched them until the work and stretched, asked the time, then looked at her. She sat on a stool. So All the while, Kezia's father was asleep. She would just sit on a stool, watch him carefully until he would wake up and stretched his body. Then he would ask the time and look at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. So, Kezia's father would compare Kezia to a little brown owl. He would say that Kezia was staring her father. So he told, you just look like an owl. And Kezia was staring at him just like an owl does. One day she was kept indoors with a cold. Her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pincushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So now Kezia was not well, so she was supposed to be stay at home. So her grandmother suggested that she was at home and her father's birthday was next week and it was approaching next week, suggested she should make him a cushion for him, and she also gave a yellow colored fabric of silk to make the cushion. Laboriously, with a double cotton, the little girl stitched 3 sides. But what to fill it with? That was the question. The grandmother was out in the garden. She wandered into the mother's bedroom to look for a scrap. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of pine paper, gathered them up, tore them into the pieces, stuffed her case, and then sewed up the 4th side. So, laboriously. Laboriously means with lots of efforts. Kezia put a lots of effort to make the birthday gift. She used double cotton and she stitched 3 sides of the cushion. But what to fill it with? Now Kezia had prepared the bag and the bag shape of the cushion. She had to stitch in the 4th side, but before that she had to fill the cushion with something, and she did not know what to fill the cushion with. The grandmother was out in the garden and the grandmother was not inside. So Kezia was confused and she was just looking for something, and she reached her mother's bedroom. She was looking for something, for bits of paper or cloth to stuff into the cushion, and she found some papers and she tore them into tiny pieces. Now the Kezia is a small girl. She is very young. Now what to do? On the bed table she found a heap of sheet of papers, and she just gathered all the sheets and torn them into tiny pieces and stuffed those papers into the cushion and sewed up the 4th side. And she had prepared a birthday gift for her father. So many of you can relate to Kezia's act. Many children do such things unknowingly. They don't know intend to create any mischief or harm anyone, but they end up doing it. Now Kezia had torn some important papers. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally mother came into Kezia's room. So now that night family search everywhere. Hue and cry mean angry protest. There was lot of shouting in the house because Kezia's father had prepared a speech for the Port Authority and he was unable to find it. Now we all know where the speech has gone. Kezia has torn all the paper into tiny pieces and she stuffed it into the cushion. Rooms were searched and the family searched everywhere. They asked the servants, but no one knew where the sheets has gone. And finally, mother came into the Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room? Oh yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. So, now, here we get to know that Kezia is an innocent girl. She did not intend it to harm anyone. So she just preparing her birthday gift. And so very truly she tells her mother she found some pieces of paper and she needed them to stuff into the cushion. So she torn them, prepared a surprise gift for her father. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. So she found and this is a birthday gift she had prepared for her father. Unknowingly, Kezia had done a great disaster. Kezia's mother is so furious when she comes to know that Kezia has torn the speech that her father is looking for. She ordered Kezia to come down into the dining room at that very moment. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind back. Now Kezia's father is full of tension as his important document has been lost. Kezia has torn into the pieces. Now Kezia will be scolded for the mischief she had done. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped, stared at the child. Did you do that? No, she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the child put to bed this instant. The damn thing used to express anger, something. Now why is the Kezia's father referring to the cushion she has prepared as a damn thing? Because he is angry at the cushion. Because Kezia has torn all the important papers and she has used that papers. Now he is very angry with Kezia and stare at her, ask her if she had torn the papers. Did you do that? So Kezia was so scared that she was again stammering, and then Kezia's father ordered mother to go and bring the cushion downstairs and asked her to put the Kezia to bed at that very moment. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadow room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hand. I am going to beat you for this, he said. Oh no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. He pulled them aside. Crying too much to explain. Kezia wanted to explain her action. Why she lay in the shadow. She was innocent. She did not mean to harm her father. She was just preparing a gift for her father. Kezia was very sad. She had been happy that she had prepared a surprise for her father and he would like it be, but on the other hand she had accidentally committed a very great problem, a disaster she had created. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hand. Now he is about to punish Kezia for the act she has done. I am going to beat you this. Oh no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. So bedclothes refers to the sheet, the top sheet that you cover yourself when you are sleeping. Now Kezia's father told her that he would beat her with the ruler. Kezia was so scared and she tried to hide under the sheets. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. Now here we come to know that why Kezia's mother was being strict with her. Why was she punishing? He punished her because he wanted Kezia know the thing that once for all that she should not touch. That thing doesn't belong to her. He wanted to teach her this thing so that it benefited in her future life. Right now she was a small kid. She did not know what was important and what was not important. That is why unknowingly she had torn all the pages, important documents, and he was punishing her. He did not want to harm Kezia, but he wanted the Kezia should know that in the future she should not touch anything that doesn't belong to her. But it was your birthday. Down came the ruler. Pink palm. Hours later, when grandfather had wrapped her in a shawl. So Kezia was saying, trying to explain her position. She said that she had been preparing a birthday gift for her father, and that's why he had to stuff it with something, and she just tore the pages and stuffed into the cushion. She was trying to explain, but no one paid attention on her. Down came the ruler on her little pink arms, and Kezia's father hit the palms of her hand with a ruler. Hours later, when grandfather had raped, Kezia was afraid and she had got beating. Her father had hit her small little palms with the ruler, and many hours later grandfather wrapped her in a shawl and was trying to pacify her, and she made her sit in her lap on a rocking chair. She was trying to put Kezia to sleep. Kezia clung to her grandmother. What did God make fathers for? She sobbed. Kezia did not feel comfortable. She was crying and she was saying why God should have made father. She hated her father. She was innocent and she did not know what wrong she had done. She was just preparing a gift for him. She was heartbroken and he did not understand her and said that God should not have made father. Here is a clean hanky. Darling, blow your nose. Go to sleep. Pat, you will forget all about it. In the morning, I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. Now Kezia's grandmother was trying to pacify her. She gave her a handkerchief and to blow her nose and go to sleep. She added that by morning Kezia would forget the beating. Kezia tried to justify herself, but the child never forgot. And she was trying to explain to him the reason for tearing the sheets of paper, but he was not ready to listen. And we see the little girl was innocent. She didn't realize that her father hit her to teach her a lesson. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back. Red color flew into her cheeks. So, when Kezia's grandmother had told her go to sleep, that by morning she would forget the beating that her father gave her, but Kezia never forgot the beating that she had got. Whenever she saw her father approaching, she would keep her hands behind her back because she felt that maybe he would hit her again, and red color flew into her cheeks. Whenever she saw her father, she got scared and her cheeks got full of red colors. The McDonalds lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. The father with the baby Mao on his shoulders. The 2 little girls hanging onto his coat pockets ran around and round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. Once she saw the boys turn the house on him, and he tried to catch them laughing all the time. Here, the father writer Catherine Mansfield says that Kezia's about the Kezia's neighbors, the McDonalds. MacDonald had 5 children. Kezia would peep at them through a hole in the fence. She would see that the family had a lot of fun, and they played a game called tag. Tag is a children's game of catching one another, like we play catch catch. So all the children along with their father would have a lot of fun. Mr. McDonald would make his little baby Mao sit on his shoulder, and the 2 little girls that he had, they would hang on to his coat pockets. So all the children were so much attached to their father. They loved him so much that they would stick to him, and they would run around the garden, around the flower beds. They would laugh and laugh. Kezia also wanted to have such fun with her father. She missed it. One day she saw that the little son of Mr. McDonald opened the hose on him. They opened the water pipe, tried to make him wet. But Mr. McDonald was not angry with them. He was laughing, and this was strange for Kezia because her father was just opposite of Mr. McDonald. Then it was she decided there were different sorts of father. And now when Kezia saw Mr. McDonald, she realized he was quite opposite to her father. She felt that God had made various kinds of father. Suddenly one day, mother became ill, and she and grandmother went to the hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice the cook. That was all right in the daytime. One day Kezia's mother's ill, so she was taken to the hospitals, and the grandfather also went with her. Now Kezia was all alone at home with the cook, Alice. And now Alice, the name of the cook. Now Kezia was fine during the day, but at the night, when the cook put Kezia to bed all alone, Kezia started feeling scared. But while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. What I'll do if I have a nightmare, she asked. I often have nightmares, and then Granny takes me into her bed and I cannot stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. You just go to sleep, child. And Alice pulling off her socks. Don't you scream, wake your papa. So Kezia asked Alice if she had a bad dream, what would she do? Kezia explained to Alice whenever she had a nightmare, she would call to her grandmother and she would sleep with her. So she said she could not stay all alone in the dark because she would be scared. She would hear different kinds of whispering sound, and which made her feel that there was someone around her. But the same old nightmare came. The butcher with a knife, a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile. While she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, Grandma, Grandma, she woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. What's the matter? He said. So now this is a nightmare that Kezia had often, and she would see a butcher, and butcher would hold a big knife and a rope, huge, and he would approach Kezia. He had a dreadful smile and on his face, and once Kezia would see him, she would feel that she was unable to move. She was so much scared, and she was terrified to see the butcher. And in her sleep, Kezia cried out for her help. Grandma, Grandma. When Kezia woke up, she was shivering. She was trembling. She saw that her father was standing next to her bed, a candle in his hand. So Kezia's father had heard the scream of her daughter, and Kezia was calling her grandmother, and he had come to help her. "What's the matter?" he said. Now Kezia's father asked what was the matter, why was she screaming. "Oh, butcher, a knife, I want Granny." He blew out the candle. Kezia was still scared of the nightmare. She said that there was a butcher. He was holding a dreadful knife and she wanted grandmother. He blew out the candle, bent down, caught up the child in his arm, carrying her along the passages through the big bedroom. So here we can see the affection that Kezia's father has for her. He blew the candle off. He lifted her, carried her into his bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. He lay down beside her, half asleep still with a butcher's smile all about it seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. So here we can see the affection that Kezia has for her daughter, for Kezia. He blew out the candle and lifted her, carried her to his bedroom. He lay down beside her, and Kezia's father lay her in his bed next to him and covered her with top sheets. Snuggled mean moved into warm and close to another person. Now Kezia felt her father's affection so, and she went close to him, hold tightly to him. She held his shirt tightly so that she would not feel scared again. And now Kezia had overcome her fear of her father. Then the dark didn't matter. She lay still. Now once Kezia was with her father, she was no longer afraid. "Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm, father." He asked Kezia to rub her feet against his legs so that they become warm. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him. He was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be Mr. McDowell. She had torn up all the beautiful writing. She stirred suddenly and sighed. "What's the matter?" asked her father. "Another dream?" "Oh," said the little girl, "my head's on your heart. I can hear it going. What a big heart you have got, father dear." So, tired out. Now here Kezia realized her mistake. She had affection towards her father. She felt that her father was a poor man. Poor father, not so big after all. He worked so hard. He was not so big as she found him to be earlier. She felt that her father was a poor man who worked very hard, and so he got so tired that he went off to sleep and didn't play with her like Mr. McDonald did with his children. But Kezia felt that his father's heart was so full of love for her. She realized that she had torn all the important papers, all beautiful writings, the speech that he has written, and all his realization. Make sure take a deep breath. She realized that she had been wrong. That is why her father had beaten her. He had been so strict with her. "What's the matter?" asked her father. "Another dream?" Although Kezia's father was asleep, he heard her sigh. So he heard the sound that Kezia made her, and he asked her what the matter was. Was she again watching a nightmare, a bad dream? Oh, said the little girl. Kezia replied to her father. She had placed her head on her father's heart, and she could hear his heartbeat. And she complimented her father that he had a big heart. What a big heart you got, father. Father dear. So, Kezia is showing her love for her father, as she had realized that her father was also loved her. Now we have completed our chapter, The Little Girl. Thanks for watching video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.